What's up, nerds? Doc Brass here with another tutorial, and in this one we're going to be going over drum rolls. Now this is a part 1 because there will more than likely be a part 2, as I think, post doing this video, other tutorial or like other rolls that I would be like, oh, I could have included that one, or maybe we go over. I obviously want to go over some more basic stuff in this one. And having some intermediate stuff for some other learners here on Patreon, while then knowing that there will be some opportunities for other more advanced stuff, and then also revisiting some of these things that we're going to discuss today. So today we're going to have a basic look at drum rolls and how I approach drum rolls and kind of my method of how I put them together. So a drum roll, as if we aren't aware, will usually take place at the end of a bar or measure to signal the returning around to the beginning of the beat, right? So you'll be having your basic beat playing, boom, dot, boom, boom, dot, right? And then you have your snare, a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the roll to repeat, okay? And rolls can be, of course, very simple and effective. Right, it's not every drum roll has to be complex, and it's all about, as I've gone through in other videos about writing drums to samples, I will often write my rolls around samples or around the beat that I'm making this happen. If my tempo is faster, the roll might have to be faster, or if the beat is slower, maybe even a faster, or a speedy roll would be a good accent for the sample, or of course a slower, more 1-2 even can be very effective. So to start off this real dialogue and showing about how I do this, it's going to be a little discussion and then I'll put into example. So I've used this example before. I make a lot of analogies to fighting games and, any kind of concept where you are having a string that you memorize, and then you usually combine multiple strings. So an example in a fighting game would be starting a combo with punch, punch, kick, and that's 3 hits, and that's a string. If you want to then finish off that string, you can then say that kick is knocks them into the air. The second string would be jump, kick, punch, kick. Then the third string would be jump again, kick, punch, kick. And then that would be the final combo before you run out of moves. And so therefore, all I'm really doing is, kick, punch, kick 3 different times, or, a different string, and then just combining these combos. So usually I make that analogy when it comes down to rolls as well. I will have a certain count that I have. And it usually revolves between 4 and 7, right? 4 and 7. And then I will then double them up and repeat it to make, say, if we're at 4, that would be 8. And if we are at 7, then that would be 14, right? So here would be an example. I'm going to play a drum beat, and the drum rolls are going to be on basic drum rolls, and you're going to see that they will be counting the number of hits of that roll or that fill will be counting 4, 5, maybe even 6. So let's see what we do here. So, don't get too loud there. So as we can see in this example, and those examples, what I'm doing is usually, depending on if I'm having a swing or just a straight note, a couple of the ones I would use would be bop, 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 bop. So that's a 1 2 1 2 1. So it's not a straight note. We're not doing 1 2 3 4 5, right? We're doing 1 2 pause 3 4 5, right? But there's 5 hits in there, right? There would be ones that would include some more hits where it's bop 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 bop. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Bop 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 bop. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4. There was one I did in there that was actually I think only 3, where it was like bop bop bop. But that's even go to show you that a fill to fill in the space doesn't have to be super crazy, right? As long as you are accenting that you are bringing an end to that measure and bringing it back to the beginning of the beat, that's what this is, right? So I'm going to go through these again just so that, and I'll do them a little bit slower. But a lot of the hits, the hit combos, sorry for that very hard H, a lot of these hits are going to be focusing around either a straight note ending with like 1, or it'll be like a straight like 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5, right? That's a very quick succession eighth note, right? Or even 16th depending on your tempo. But it's going to be very quick 1 2 3 4 5, or it could be 1 2 3 4 5. These are different styles of hits, but they are both going to just incorporate around your own creativity. Okay, so I'm going to do some more of the simple ones again before I go into a more intermediate with including some ghost note snares. Okay. Now again, something big that I want to be noted is that a lot of these hits are including how many numbers, right? 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. All right. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Very rarely am I going above 7 in a lot of these, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Oh, I guess that would be 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6. A lot of the times I'm sticking in that area. Now, if we're going to try and get more complicated with rolls and types of rolls, they're all, for me, going to be incorporating, again, a ghost note into the main note. Right, so if you use the layout, this is using the Lupon pack that is posted up on Patreon. So if you can load up this program, download it, load it up, you should be able to have these right there for you to try out, or you can use your own samples as you wish. But the idea here in using these kinds of rolls is going to then be incorporating the kind of imitating a drumstick snare roll, right? So we're still going to be incorporating the same kinds of numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, right, in terms of numbers of hits. And then we're going to be doubling them up. These kinds of rolls will obviously be quicker because in order to have a lot of those hits, it's usually with a quick thimble of like a quick twitch of your wrist. And a lot of these hits are usually very quick, right? You can have the like kind of thing, right? But usually that'll be more for the verse section, I guess you could say. But again, I'm talking more about the way that I put these together. So with that said, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are the numbers of hits. So a big one that I do is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 hits, 2 on the ghost note, 2 on the main snare. Okay, and so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so after hearing that, again, if we have 4, we could do 6. Or we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are different combos, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. And what I'll do is I will then combine them and like double them up, right? So here would be an example. So if you can see in that one example I did there, I'm doing the same thing. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3. It's about the rhythm in which I'm hitting it, but the number is the same, 4, right? With some of these, I'll be doing much more even notes, I guess, because or I will compose up to 7. So like I think on the first one I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And I will take that and then try and repeat it. So here would be an example. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm taking the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then bringing it back into repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it'll end on the same 1. Okay. So what I'm then going to do is, as you can see, all I'm doing is taking these little combos, right? These little strings, and then I'm putting them together. So now to put this into practice, I'm going to try and slow them down. Some of these rolls can be, tough to even within a lower tempo. They're going to sound fast. Right, especially again, this is more of an intermediate level. If you're not up here, stay focused on the beginning. Focus on getting your speed with the 1, 2, 3. Like when the more that you can do 1, 2, that's going to be really helping out with your dexterity. So you can start basic with the basic 4 count. Keep it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very easy ways to be able to practice those to build up your speed and dexterity. So I'm going to put these into practice and use some snare and ghost notes to put some rolls out there. Okay, so I try to switch it up between doing some slower type fills and some faster type fills around the same tempo so that you guys can practice that and at least break down the methodology of how we're doing this. So as you could see, hopefully, right, what I'm trying to do here is combine the forces. And if you noticed on some of them, I would do the 1, 2, 3, 4 for do, 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 right? And I would kind of keep it on that whole dop, bop, 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 bop from the first section and then bring that first section technique into the second section where I'm combining the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're combining these into a longer thread. And only if we are kind of extending the break of when the beat stops and really extending the solo do you really have to worry about adding a bunch of notes. But a lot of these notes that I do are also going to, you'll see these very same rolls in the beats that I perform. So what you're seeing here is not necessarily complicated when you really break down the actual number of hits that we're doing, right? We're not really breaking 10 here. Okay. Sorry. We're not breaking 10 hits. We could if we wanted to extend the combo, but that's until we really start getting into some other crazy fun stuff, right? Maybe some rolls that would include doing the just the fast 16 30-second note on either your hi-hats or your kicks into your snare, right? Or that 16th note hi-hat into the open hi-hat. Those are rolls that also matter, but even think about those types of combos. If you really break them down, you're taking a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breaking it down. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counts to 9, still less than 10, right? That's a 4 and a 5. So if you can break down these little things, then and by counting them into smaller segments and breaking it up, that's literally how I do it, because that'll help me memorize the rhythm. So that rhythm then becomes one fluid motion, and you no longer start thinking about each little string. You think about the whole combo as one motion. So let's go to the hi-hat, for example, in this. So again, as you can hopefully see, we're just counting them in little bits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? All of them are going to be less than 10 for the most part. And then only if you're really looking to do an extended kind of drum fill or an extended one would you need to then kind of string together 2 longer hits. So, let's go to another type of fill, which I might call a combo fill. This one might seem a little more complex because we're now going to be using more than just like one sound. That would be the snare. Even though we're using 2 different sounds, it's one sound. It's the snare sound and the snare roll. Over here would be the hi-hat roll. That's one sound that we're focusing on the roll. Now, in other rolls and other fills, what we get to do is combine them. So a popular one that I like to do is kind of the thirds fill. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, boom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, boom. Right? So like something like that. Right? Those are different like thirds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, ba. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Those are very like I'm a big fan of those. So those are other great kinds of fills that you can do. And those, but when you think about that entire concept of what I'm counting, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? You're counting smaller bits to build up into one motion. And for me, that's been a big help as I string together my combos for my fighting game character, right? And so I hope that this I'm sure that at this point I've ranted on long. If there are any other questions in particular, feel free to throw them in the comments section, or DM me, and we can talk about this in the bi-weekly group sessions. But I wanted to start us off there. So I'll go through one little play through again and do one little extended, go to simple, then go to intermediate, then maybe do some thirds and start adding in some other instruments. Okay? So there you go. Hopefully that helps. A little rendition out there. Feel free to watch these parts over and over again, analyze, let this resonate, soak. If you have any questions, again, holler at your boy. Stay positive, stay humble, and most importantly, stay nerdy out there.